Welcome back to Boomer's Playground, and today we'll be going through coding exercise 20 on the Colt Steele Web Developer Bootcamp on Udemy. So this is the one that I see get the most questions, like initially, right? So like somebody will ask a question about this one, and then like they'll ask more questions later on. But this is like the first one that really gives people, I don't want to say pause, but gives them trouble. And I think the wording and the description is a little bit why. So we're going to be going over string template literals, which, excuse me, I talked a little bit about earlier that we would get there, and we're finally here. These things are amazing. They make string interpolation and concatenation so much easier than the other ways that we've shown you. So let's go over what we need to do. So I provided you with two variables. So we have die1 and we have die2. They represent six-sided dice. Each variable holds a randomly generated number from 1 to 6. They want you to create a new variable. So create variable named roll. And it will contain a string that displays each die as well as their sum following this pattern. So die1, die2, roll this. And so I think where people get confused is they see these numbers and they think that's what they have to be. But what's really happening here is it's just saying these will be anything from 1 to 6. And each time the code is run, there'll be something different. So the way that this works is we need to create our variable roll. And since we're not going to change it, we can do it a const. And then what you need to do string template literals. And let's assume we forgot, which is fine. So let's just do, I'm going to still have a search for the last one here. String template literals JavaScript. All right. All right, so we got here. Okay, so the template literals use backticks rather than quotes. So the backtick is the thing above the tab key on the left side of your keyboard, at least on US keyboards. I cannot speak to other languages, but that's where it is for a US keyboard. And so like this is the first example of like why it's super helpful. So I don't know if you guys remember the one where we had to say you had me at hello and hello needed to have the double quotes. Well, if you do string template literals here, you can put any combination of single or double quotes inside this, and it's no big deal because these backticks are the opening and closing things. Now, obviously, if you had a backtick in your text, which I don't know why somebody would, but if you did, you'd have to do what we did in the previous one, but nobody really ever does. So, all right, so that's cool there. Okay, so we just do backticks. All right, well, that's easy enough, right? So got backtick, and we need to do you rolled a die1 and a die2, and we got period. They sum to, and then what it said the addition, right? So die1 plus die2. All right, looks good to me. Let's see what we get. Okay, so the roll variable should include the value of die1. Expected false be true. Oh, that doesn't really help a whole lot. But this didn't work. So let's see if maybe we missed something. No, we got that interpolation is a way to interpolate. And if you're not familiar with what interpolate means, essentially it means to take a variable from whatever language you're in and kind of adding it to a string or like showing it as a string. So it looks like we have this $. Oh, well, this is a cool example here. So we have first name and last name, and then we have, all right, well, let's see what this does. Okay, so we got John Doe, and we'll see right here that we have welcome, John. So this dollar sign, open and closing curly brackets, and then it looks like just the variable name there. So let's see if this changes it. Oh, super cool. Okay. Oh, well, that's pretty easy. All right, so we got die one here. So we want this to be the actual number of die one, which will be a number between 1 and 6. So all we really got to do is just do that, and that should give us that value. And the same for this, and that should give us that value. And let's see if that solves it. Okay, so it looks like it didn't. So the roll variable should include the sum of die 1 and die 2. Oh. Okay, well, I think these ones were right. Oh, well, I mean, let's just do that over here. All right, let's check this guy out. Okay, so we get the same thing. All right, so I'm getting a little frustrated here. So let's just copy this, and I'm gonna start. So again, you can use CodePen, you can use whatever you like. I just like JSBin because it's just super basic and easy. I do want to log in real quick because it has all my Vim. Okay, cool. So we have that there. Okay, so let's do. All right. So let's just see what role is. So the one thing that kind of sucks about this testing thing is it doesn't show me. Sometimes it will, but it's not showing me what this is. So I'm having a hard time figuring out where I'm going wrong. So a lot of times I'll bring everything over to something like this, and then we can console log, and then this will show us what we're actually getting. So okay, so we get you rolled a 4 and a 4, and they sum to 4 plus 4. Okay, so it's not actually doing the addition, it's just interpolating it. Okay, so let's try this again. And I wanted to do that to show that the numbers will change. And that's the reason we want to use the variables here because, this will change every time it runs. So, okay, cool. So we're obviously not doing any addition here. So let's get back here. Let's see if we can find anything else. Expression, substitution, tuple literals allow expressions in strings. So total. Oh, what is going on here? Okay. All right, so this isn't, I don't really know what's going on here, but let's take a look and let's see. Okay, cool. Oh, so we're getting a number here, total. Okay, so total that's total. Let's see if that's the same. I'm pretty sure that's this variable, but let's find out for sure. So we'll just do top. Okay, cool. So that is it. So this may not be obvious to you guys, but like I know that this .toFixed is a way to, it's a JavaScript method that allows you to tell a number how many decimal points to be. So what I'm pulling from this is I can run JavaScript in between these brackets. So like actual like math and stuff, because we're doing price times and then VAT, which I think that's like it's like a European tax or whatever. And then we're going to take that number and we're going to say, hey, go 2 spots past the decimal. All right, interesting. So if I can do math, all right, so let's do this. So, all right, so I can do math in here apparently. So we want die 1 plus die 2, right? I think so. Okay. All right, let's save it. Oh, snap. Okay, so we have you rolled a 6 and a 3, and they sum to 9, which is true. 3 and a 2 sum to 5. 1 and a 2, they sum to 3. Okay, cool. So I think we got this one. Okay, so let's here, we'll close this so that you guys don't see it the next video that I do. Okay, so our issue was we had these separate when we really needed to have these together to do the actual math. And I think that should be good. So let's see if this solves it. Okay, perfect, and it did. So the key takeaways here are if you just want to show the output of a variable, all you have to do is put it in between these string template literals or this $sign followed by open and closing curly braces. And then you can do any amount of JavaScript within those same things. So we can do this, we could probably do multiplication. Um, you can do any kind of method. So like, let's say, let's do that one. What was it? We'll do message. And what was it? It was all these faces, taste the rainbow. So here we should, well, actually, let's not do it here because we're actually passing the test here. So let's go back to my good old friend JS bin. And of course it doesn't still have those. So let's copy all this. I guess we didn't really need the die, but whatever. All right, so we got message, taste the rainbow. And so in here, we could ideally do message.to lowercase dot trim. And we should get, we don't want the output, we want the console. And then we have the console log roll. And you'll see we get you rolled a 6 and a 6 because we didn't change this first part, but we took this message, which is the taste the rainbow with all the white space, we lowercased it, and we trimmed it all within these string template literals. And look how much nicer this is than having to be, having to make another variable where we trim it and we lowercase it and then add it. So these string template literals are awesome, and you will be using them a lot. So yeah, so let's mess this up a little bit. Again, I just really want to get like the error reading with you guys. So change it to there. So this should fail. Oh, apparently it's not. So this test is only concerned that you have the value of die1, the value of die2, and the addition of them both. They do not care about the rest of the string. So I bet you this will be. So what the test is doing is it's grabbing die1 and die2 and it's checking what their numbers are, and it's just seeing if those numbers exist in this roll. I bet you this still passes. Yeah, so that was just a poorly written test, but that's okay. But nonetheless, I hope you guys learned something from this. String template literals, you will use them all the time. They make JavaScript so much nicer. With that being said, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, I hope you guys learned something. But leave any comments or questions in the description or in the comment section below. Otherwise, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.